Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Signal Box today, and I do hope you enjoy this video. If it's your first time visiting my channel, congratulations and a very warm welcome to you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll crack on with today's video. So go and get yourself a beverage of your choice because you'll enjoy this one, and I'll see you in a mo. Okay, so welcome back. So as you can see, I've got one of my baseboard support tables on the bed tonight, and I thought I would just show you something really nice that I got in the post today as mentioned. And I do use this table for a number of reasons this way, because it comes in handy for doing lots of little work projects on, and also for resting things on, and my little temporary workbench if you like, when the living room's in use by the rest of the family. So this is kind of a little temporary solution, but it's also going to come in handy today to show you what came in the post today. So out of all the locomotives that I currently own in my collection, this has to be one of the most sought after machines that I've always wanted to own. It's one of those when you don't have the cash or you don't have the resources to acquire something when it comes out, and you think, oh wow, I'm never going to get one of those, I really wish I could afford one of those. And then fast forward a couple of years and then you find one and you think, oh, now I have the means to acquire one, I'm going to get it. So it's a bit like an addiction with me with trains. I can think of worse addictions out there, unfortunately, that people are addicted to, and one of the things that I love is trains. So I'm definitely loving this model I'm going to show you now. So I'll bring in the box, and here it is. It's definitely a locomotive, but it's quite heavy, and the box gives it away. Yes, it's a Hornby product, and I'll show you what it is. I won't reveal the label, but I'll just get it out of the box and we'll have a proper look. So just bear with me and we'll get this out of the box to look at. Okay folks, are you ready for this beauty? Here she is. Look at that. Isn't she a cracker? This is number 60028, Sir Walter K. Whigham, and she's a Gresley machine, an A4. This was originally 4487 Sea Eagle. Originally this was the loco that was number 4487 Sea Eagle, but British Railways repainted it and renamed it in 1948 to Sir Walter K. Whigham. Now I'm not sure exactly who personally Walter K. Whigham was, but I can tell you by historical fact that he was on the board of the London North Eastern Railway in 1948. He was one of the big wigs. Not his name, Big Whigham, but I don't know, he could have been quite plump, couldn't he? I don't know. But anyway, he was one of the on the board of directors of the LNER, and they've done it in this beautiful express purple blue livery. Look at this, it's an absolutely immaculate looking thing, isn't it? I have got a rather soft spot for A4s. I mean, out of all the big locos on the LNER, the Midland, the Southern with the Bully Pacifics, the Midland with the Duchesses and Coronations, and obviously the Great Western with the Kings and Castles, but to me no one could outmatch an A4. They just look beautiful standing still. So let's go down the front of the engine to the smoke box and have a little butcher's at the front, shall we? So again, this is a Hornby model, and Hornby, they do make some lovely machines in model form, and as you can see there, that the rivet detail is beautiful. There's not a mark on this model at all. It's beautiful. You've got the chime whistle up there, just in front of the chimney. The lampine bracket moving down. The rivets for the smoke box door to open. The smoke box number on a mounted plate there, and the shed code there, which I'll try and zoom in, see what we've got. What it says, can I read that? Is it gonna, oh, 34A. I think that's Haymarket shed. I'm not sure. I'll have a look in my reference material. But if someone could give a shout out, if I've got it wrong, give me a shout out. But I'm pretty sure that was a Haymarket engine. 34A. I could be wrong. Anyway, if you know the answer, chuck it in the comments box below. So on the front there, we've got a, come in a bit of the camera there, we've got a screw link coupling on the hook, a vacuum pipe, and that's it. There isn't any other pipes because in those days when this was running in 1948, All you had was a vacuum on the front, and obviously for braking and the coupling, screw link and chain, that was it. Not like the for example, so Nigel Gresley is currently going to be up at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway very soon for Easter. It's got all the different bits fitting in the front now for working the more modern stuff. But back in 1948, this was a beautiful machine. And what I love about this profile, if you look at it there, and that shot there, the front, it's really, really lovely. Sprung buffers. The paint finish on this is beautiful. Absolutely exquisite. And that's what I like, that profile there. If you look at the chimney, it's the single blast Kyle Chap exhaust on that. Whereas a couple of the A4s had the double blast Kyle Chap chimney. If we do a little bit of an above shot, I'll show you. You've got a single bore, single blast chimney. But it's just the fact that these chimneys were so streamlined to match the rest of the loco. There was a rumour about how the A4s got their chimneys like this, and the rumour is that they made a plasticine model of these A4s to base it upon the full-size locos like Mallard. When they were in the experimental stage in the design workshop, they made a plasticine model of, I think it was Mallard, one of the first A4s I think, and they made a plasticine model, and they were going to put the thing in a wind tunnel to see how much wind resistance would go over the top and how it would behave basically with friction and aerodynamics. So what someone did, I think they accidentally pressed their thumb into the chimney by mistake, and it got that signature A4 chimney profile that matched the rest of the body. And when they put it in the wind tunnel, they found out that works a treat. That's exactly what we need on a full-sized locomotive, with that design of chimney to match the rest of the look, and that's why they made it. So if you look at that as a single profile chimney, on some of the A4s you've got double, but that's a beautiful looking chimney. I love that, it just looks beautiful. And if we come down here a little bit, you've got Walter K. Whigham as a separately fitted nameplate on the side, which is nice. It's not printed, it's actually separately fitted. That makes a change. Some beautiful detail on the side there. I'll come in with the camera a little bit so we can have a little look. That's better, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, it's absolutely in very, very good condition. And I'll tell you something interesting. If you look at the word water on the nameplate, and then just the word water at the beginning of the name, look underneath it, you'll see an inspection hatch with like a little thing that you would pull up. Well, I think when in there, what would be in there would be like a round fitting that you'd have a big crank handle that you'd insert, and you'd wind that, and what it would do, it would hydraulically raise the smoke box door open to reveal the smoke box proper inside. So that was done for maintenance and shed cleaning and things like that. But that was a really clever little design there by Gresley. So yeah, that was a really clever little design on the side there. But look at this beautiful, beautiful thing. It's lovely. All these cleverly designed features on an A4. For example, all these little separately fitted inspection hatches that were just able to open up, and you could access the moving parts inside for maintenance and just inspection, and all cleverly concealed behind those hatches. A brilliant design by Gresley again, and this beautiful retro curving running plate that goes all the way down up to the cab. And the design feature that of these A4s, just out of interest, if you don't know this fact, some of you might do, some of you might not, but I think it's a beautiful fact that Gresley, I think he went over to Italy around the time he was thinking about designing a new express locomotive for the LNER. And one of the things that caught his eye was the Bugatti sports car. If you look at the Bugatti sports car, the outside frames and the running boards on it are exactly a little bit like this. They gracefully curve downwards like that over the engine, just like these. And I think Gresley was so impressed by the Italian Bugatti cars that he wanted to take that and put it on a loco, make it look nice. So that's what he did, and he's done a great job, because look at this. I'm loving these boiler bands. Obviously these red stripe boiler bands are really beautiful and crisp, as you can see on top there. And now the light has picked up that paintwork, that paint finish, the rivets on top, separately fitted handrails, steam pipe going along on the side of the boiler there, the washout plugs up there, those gold trimmed cab windows which are nicely glazed. On top there you've got the safety valves, and the cab vent on the roof there, they both open up. All four of those open up individually. I haven't opened them up, but they do position themselves whatever you want to do with those, so that's great. They normally do, standard feature on these super detailed models. The roof is beautiful, some nice rivet detail on the front, on the top of the roof there. Cab glazing is crisp and perfect. We've got a little plate on the side of the loco there. We'll just try and zoom in and see what that says. Doncaster, yeah. RA9 is the route of availability, so it's an East Coast mainline engine. An A4, obviously it was an A4 Pacific. Made in Doncaster. There's some nice detail. Look at the bogey truck underneath that supports that massive firebox. Gresley needed something obviously quite chunky and hefty to support the weight of the huge massive firebox that the A4 locos had. Beautiful. If we come back along the chassis, along the loco, look at these wheels. They're beautiful, nicely profiled and the correct type of wheels. The linkage seems to be in all good condition, along with the valve gear, slide bar, big end, expansion link. Everything on there is beautiful. The only thing I've noticed with this particular model, there isn't a speedo cable. Normally there's a speedo cable. This particular model, the speedo cable wasn't fitted by Hornby. Whether the full-size machine had a speedo cable, I don't know, but this one doesn't have one. It's got the slot in the moulding underneath for one, but it doesn't have one. I could source one and fit it, but I don't know if 628 ever had one. I don't know. I'll have to resource that and check it out, and if need be fit one, or if not, leave it. The only thing the model doesn't have as well, it doesn't have the cylinder cock pipes that come out of the cylinders here and go forward. They're not included with this loco. Everything else is included with it. So I'm thinking they either were, or this particular model didn't have them. You can get them as spares, and if I wanted to fit them I could, but the only thing is, I found by fitting the cylinder cock pipes, even though they're plastic, you can get a lot of derailments from the front set of wheels, because when they go across point work and curves or around crossovers, they tend to cause a little bit of problems with the front wheel. So I think they're okay for display purposes, or if you've got really super generous flexi track in terms of radius, where there's really a nice, very gentle transition into the curves. So I think it doesn't matter too much, but it's a beautiful model. Let's have a closer look. Come on, let's come with me with the camera. Isn't that a cracker? What a beautiful machine. And I love this tender. That's absolutely a beautiful tender. Look at that, in that lovely crisp British Railways signage on there. The surrounding border crisply applied there. And what I was really surprised about this loco was, normally when you see these on eBay or else other different sites, always is the cab doors on these things are always bloody well missing. People advertise these things and it looks all nice and crisp, then they get down to the shots and you notice, there's no cab doors. These things always break off. My example here is all in good nick, so that's how it's going to stay. And I'm not going to do a single thing with this in terms of weathering. All I'm going to do, the only thing I'm going to add to this loco, believe it or not, is a footplate crew, and that is it. I'm not going to add any coal, because if you look at the top of the tender, that is the proper scale size coal. I admit I put my hands up. I do add my own real coal to some of my locos, and some of the coal is a little bit overly chunky. I know that. I just like it because it's real coal, and that's where it belongs in the tender. But that is the real size for a 00 scale tendered loco. That's the real size coal. If you think about it, a single lump of that coal fitted on a 00 scale 4mm shovel that goes into that is correct. Whereas if you have anything bigger, like real lumps of coal, you're talking an O gauge model, which is a bit bigger, and it comes up much more bigger than this thing. So that is why I think it's a good idea to leave that as it is. This actually comes out. You can actually remove the coal load on there, and you can actually do that if you want to yourself. On the tender itself, there's some nice detail there. There's a water cap filler, which is believable. And if you look, those of you that are keen-eyed spotters out there will notice the obvious there. If you haven't spotted it already, this tender has the corridor tender, which we'll have a look at in a second. Actually, if I just carefully unhook that like that. And the great thing about this model is there's no fiddly cable and plug to put in underneath. It's just a standard draw pin and bar connection, and that's it. So that's great news for me, because I don't like those things at all. I hate them because they're so darn fiddly, and you're always guaranteed to break a wire if you're not careful. So I'm pleased about that. It's a good thing not to have that thing. As long as you've got a good connection physically between the loco and tender. The tender's got pickup, so obviously that will help. And obviously if it's all clean and tight and nicely looked after, you shouldn't get a problem, and you shouldn't really need to have a plug and play cable system. I think that is only more specifically if you want to put a DCC chip in and sound cube and all that bits and pieces, but not for me. So the tender is a beautiful thing of beauty. I love that model. Look at that. It's even got a slot there for shoveling the coal, not off the floor, but off the flat there, out of the tender. That's nice. I just noticed that on the camera. If you can at home, I'll zoom it in. That's nice, the little water filler injector there. That's the shut on and off. That's lovely. And there's the infamous door in the corner that allows you to go through down the side of the tender, out the back and into the first coach to change crews mid-journey. A very, very lovely design by Sir Nigel Gresley himself. And if we turn it round this way, we should, yes we do, look at that. There's the, I call it a ship's portal. You know, if you go on a cruise ship, something like a cruise ship, and you see the portal windows in a ship, that's exactly what that reminds me of, and I think that's what it was called. But that's a little window you can look out of when you're going through the corridor to make sure, obviously, there's a carriage attached to it still. But yeah, great intervention by Sir Nigel Gresley. If we look at the rear of the tender, we've got an M-pocket coupling, sprung buffers, and all the lamp irons are on there, which is great news on that side. And the not lamp iron, excuse me, I'll rephrase that, sorry. The foot plates where you climb up onto the top of the tender, you've got a handrail there, and the idea is you go onto the buffer shank, first foot up, and you follow it up a ladder, and that gets you to the top of the tender for filling up your water when you're at stations. Unless it's got overhead line, you don't do that. But anyway, yeah, they're both correct on one side. So I got a set, I think a while ago. It was the what was it now? The Silver Jubilee Coronation set, and it had Quicksilver was in it, and it had everything on it apart from a cab door and one of these steps or things were missing. So this is great. I'm so happy that that's all intact. Look at that. What a cracker. So let's put the tender to one side. Oh, just a quick look. There's handrails separately fitted on there and on the other side there. Underneath looks to be pretty tidy. Oh, look at that. That's in really good nick. That's not going to need any cleaning at all, which is good. And there's pickups obviously picking up those wheels. And there's your pickup plate that engages with the drawbar on the loco. Everything is in brilliant condition. You look at the brake rig in there with the leaf springs, everything on there. What a beautiful engine. Beautiful tender, should I say. That's lovely. I love that profile there as well. Look at that. It's such a lovely thing. That's just the tender. Let's just move that to one side and we'll have a look at the cab on this beautiful, beautiful machine. So carefully bring it round. I'll try and get it in there. There we go. So it's got the LNER bucket seats on both the fireman and driver side, on the left and right. There's a lot of detail in the cab actually. There we go. Isn't that lovely? So you've got the driver's controls on the left, as well as you've got a regulator hand on the fireman's side. All the gauges in there, the glass gauge at the top there. The injector controls, blowers, dampers, steam meter controls, everything on there. And the firebox door shelf, the more important bit that you put your tea caddy on, your billy can to keep it warm during the run. And the most interesting thing about these locos, these A4s, they had like what was known as a letterbox style fire roll door. Very, very round oval, very thin. Get your shovel in there obviously, but they weren't awfully wide. But the great thing about it is you could literally put shovels full of dust in there and they would steam beautifully. You didn't need a lot of shoveling like a Great Western Castle or a King. These were beautiful machines, they still are. The A4s that we've got left in preservation in the UK are absolutely beautiful. We've got one of my favourite A4s, the Nigel Gresley, up at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway this Easter. So if you're up in the Yorkshire part of the world, in the UK, and you're near the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, pop in and have a look at Sir Nigel Gresley. I think all the tickets are all sold out now, but still you can go along and take pictures and have a look, because it's a cracking machine. But this one is a beautiful, beautiful thing of beauty. If there ever is such a word as beautiful thing of beauty, then it is this. The cab side windows are intact as well. That's great on both sides. Normally they snap off. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's a really lovely thing, isn't it? And the full plate is there as well. There's the full plate, which is between the tender and the loco. And that's great, that's all intact. It's a really, really lovely machine. Look at that. That is a really beautiful, beautiful A4. I'm going to just recouple the tender on that, like that, because I want to. Look at that. Yeah, that's a cracker. So there is my Walter K. Whigham from Hornby. This is a very sought after model. It's a very rare, I would say quite rare, it's very rare. It's a very rare A4 because it's in this colour. It's in this British Railways experimental purple blue from 1948. And if you saw the opening image on the video, that's a painting that's done by an artist of the real Sir Walter K. Whigham leaving King's Cross in 1948 for its run. So apparently, according to my sources, the loco was named Walter K. Whigham after the deputy chairman in 1947 and renumbered as 628 by British Railways in 1948. So, so Walter K. Whigham was the deputy chairman. There you go. So I just cheated a little bit. So I'm reading the blinking info card that come with the model. But yeah, he was definitely a bigwig of the LNER. He was one of the definitely the big chair of the LNER itself. So yeah, there we go. So there's nothing really much to look at. I'll just turn the loco around if you want. The other side very carefully, like that, so we get that profile. If you want to look at it that way. Sometimes looking at things at a different angle makes it look nice. And there we go. Yeah, what a machine, eh? What a machine. It's got everything on there. What a lovely machine. That is a stunning loco, is it not? So I think what we'll do now is carefully put this back in the box. There's all the packaging over there it came with, right there. And I'm going to put this back in the box, and then what I'm going to do is when we get the next running session this weekend, this will be out on the railway and you'll be able to have a good look at it going round. It's also going to need a bit of a lube. So, I haven't checked the lubrication on this yet, but it looks a little bit dry, so we can lube that as well. Oh, excuse me. I've got a little bit of clinker in my firebox. Anyway, bit of coal dust. So anyway, that is my beautiful, beautiful Walter K. Whigham. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you soon in the next one. I've got something else coming as well very soon. So stay tuned if you want to see what the second thing that I've got coming so I can show you. And in the meantime, take care and all the best. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon in the next video, unless I lose my voice. Take care, everybody, and thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you soon in the next video. All the best now. Take care.